Good evening, everyone. This is Pineleaf Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and here at DDO Players. Please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Draculetta.
Greetings, everybody out there in wherever you're at, I guess I'll say.
Greetings, greetings, everyone, and happy Festival. Which
Yes.
brings the question is, what exactly is Festival?
Well, Festivalt is a great little thing where you can get cookies. Everybody likes cookies, right? And other goodies. It is actually coming. You will start seeing drops of coins now in chests. I'm sure many of you have seen some. I know we have when we were playing Wednesday, as a matter of fact, we got quite a bit of coins dropping out of some chests and some other things.
Yes, so they are available.
So you want to save those up, and starting actually on Thursday, the Jester will be available, and you can trade those coins in for goodies from the Jester.
Mm-hmm. And how many coins do you need? 100?
It depends on the cookie, actually.
Okay. And what do these cookies do?
It depends on what cookie you get.
It's random?
Yes, well, it's not really random. There's just different types of cookies you can choose to get.
Okay.
And each one will have like a different bonus on it, so it depends what kind of bonus you want. Some have like fire effects, some have, I know this year they added a new one that's going to have like a blade barrier. So it just depends what kind of cookie you want, and you can save your coins up and get those from the Jester, which, as I said, will be in-game starting on Thursday.
So in other words, they needed to do the update before because some of the new stuff is in the new update, because that would explain why the update is coming up on Wednesday.
It is. It all kind of ties together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today we actually got the news that update 24, which is going to be called the Heart of Madness.
Ooh.
A sweet little title, actually.
Yeah.
Will be coming out on Wednesday. And of course, this does include the new adventure pack. The Insane Lords of Zoriat return in all new adventures. You will return to the Sleeping Spell Inn for an ultimate excursion into madness with the Terminal Delirium and more zany Zeriat misadventures. And of course, that adventure pack is for level 18 Heroic and level 26 Epic. And as all adventure packs are, it is free to VIPs. Also included in the update is the new free Tyranny of Dragon adventure, and that is going to be free for all players. You will infiltrate the Cult of Dragon to retrieve the legendary White Dragon mask for the Harpers before the cultists can enact their devious plans for conquest.
Ooh.
And once again, that is free for all players. So even free-to-play and premiums will be able to run that adventure. And that, of course, ties in with the Tyranny of Dragon mods that Wizards of the Coast are doing right now.
All right.
So see, everything kind of all ties together.
Okay.
And also in Update 24, we have the Barbarian improvements. They have made a lot of changes to the Barbarian. So if you play a Barbarian, you will want to take special note of those changes.
I presume a new tree?
Yes. And you're supposed to, Barbarians have better survivability now. I don't know, because I've never played a Barbarian, but I guess we'll see what they do.
You mean the 12-sided dice isn't enough survivability as it is? Because I would presume that if they have in pen and paper 12-sided dice, they must have the best hit points of any class.
One would think, being a Barbarian, you would, but I know you have played one for a very short period of time.
Yes, I do recall that it was a permadeath character, which meant that I didn't last very long.
Yeah. Also, in Update 24, there will be some new store items to go along with that. Imagine that. In the store, for 450 turbine points, you will find the new adventure pack, Hearts of Madness. Imagine how that ties in. So if you're not VIP and you have to buy it, it'll be in the store for you. That's just awesome how that works.
Right.
450 turbine points. They have updated the Mirror of Glamoring, and that is 245 turbine points. And they have also added the Glamored Weapon Auras, 495 turbine points. And all of that stuff will be in the stores when the servers come back up Wednesday, December 10th for the patch. And we actually have no time frame yet for when the patch, the downtime will be. I'll be sure to post it when we find out.
Well, I hope they're back up in enough time so that we could patch before our regular.
I would assume they would be. Usually, I want to say it's usually like 8 a.m. to noon Eastern most of the time for patches. So
Yes, but we know sometimes things go wrong.
this is true. It is IT. That happens.
Yes, especially considering what happened over the weekend when things went wrong with the servers.
When all the turbine servers, not just for DDO, went kaflooey, were not working anymore. Yeah.
Right, that.
Yeah, it was not a good time this weekend. I know I had problems logging in, and when I could log in, I basically rubber banded so bad it wasn't even worth playing. I haven't tried today yet. I was busy today, so I don't know, but supposedly that is all taken care of.
Well, I'm hoping it is. I know that they're trying to get the stuff all nice and fixed up so that on Saturday they were working in order to fix everything. At least they were on Lotro. I presume they were doing the same thing on DDO.
Yeah, I saw a couple tweets that said they were, and I know Saturday, I want to say late afternoon. I don't know if Lotro did it, but I know DDO reset all their servers on late Saturday afternoon to try to help with the issues.
In Lotro, they did it early Saturday afternoon.
Okay, then they probably did it about the same time for DDO then as well. So, but yes, that was a turbine-wide problem. In case listeners are curious, I know I saw in the forums most people were saying it was just DDO, but it was not. It was affecting all of turbine. I seen tweets that Infinite Crisis was having the problem. Asheron's Call was even having the problems as well. So it was server turbine-wide.
All right then. Then let's go into the Chronicle, and I'm looking at the screenshot of the week, and I could only imagine that is this an artificer druid or something?
One would assume because it's very cyberpunky looking. So yeah.
I gotta look at that. What in the world is this?
Kind of a cyberpunking looking bear. So yeah. And that is the 200th screenshot of the week. But
yeah. Oh, he calls it a bear artificer. Yes. I think the people over at DDO are getting infected by the bear puns that recently hit Lotro.
Yeah, I think so. It has crossed over into our world, I guess.
Well, with druids around, I'm sure we've had bear puns even longer.
Oh, I'm sure, probably.
All right. What else is up?
Well, let's see. Elsewhere in the Chronicle, Bonnie Boo has a walkthrough that will teach anyone how to do the Shroud puzzles all by yourself. You can click the link in the Chronicle to watch it. Your DDO, we've talked about that site several times now. They're having a turbine point giveaway, so make sure you go over there and find out how to enter that, because free turbine points are always a good thing. And speaking of Bonnie Boo, her Shroudapalooza, which I just love that name. That is so awesome. I like saying that. Shroudapalooza. That heads to the Sarlona server this Saturday. Click to find out all the event details and how you can join her in game for that. The Forever Knights of Orion are hosting a Christmas giveaway December 27th. Sorry. You can click for more information on that in the Chronicle. There's actually a lot of giveaways this week. The High Rollers on Canon are also having a holiday giveaway. We're going to have to find out about that since we play on Canon. Tom 116 is having a holiday giveaway as well if you're on Galanda, I guess I should say. And Kinder and Friends on Thelanis is also having a 12 Days of Christmas event where they're giving stuff away. So it looks like everybody is in the Christmas spirit giving away things in DDO.
All right then. That concludes with the Chronicle, which means it's time for our store sales. And anything exciting for sale this week?
The free sample of the week is a Lesser Guild Renowned Elixir, which is always good to get more Guild Renowned.
Oh, I better go and get that one now.
Well, you can use coupon code GLDS12. GLDS12. And as always, that is one per account. So as I always say, choose wisely. Also in the store this week, 20% off Epic Destiny, Tomes of Fate, Key of Destiny, and Fast Travel. And as always, through December, Turbine runs weekly or weekend specials for DDO and Lotro both. You can, let's see, this week I lost my place in the show notes. Sorry. December 5th through the 11th is 35% off cookie jars, which would be the time to get those because we're all going to be buying cookies pretty soon. Or not buying them, we're going to be trading for them actually. And of course, we don't want to take up our valuable bag space, so we need cookie jars to hold our cookies. It makes sense. Those are 35% off. 75% off the monk class, which I'm kind of tempted to pick up because I actually don't have the monk class yet. I don't know if I really would roll up a monk, but at 75% off, that's a heck of a deal. 50% off character banks. And 50% off the Gold Seal Elixirs of Sovereign Healing. And those deals, once again, are through December 11th. And after that, there will be new ones every week. So hop over to the store, get some good deals. Cookie jars and the monk class. I think that's what I'm going to buy. I'm going to spend some turbine points this week, I think.
Ooh, okay. Cookie jars and a monk class. All right, so let's go into our site news, which looks a little empty.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on the site. It's basically, we just have a lot of game news and beyond DDO news. We haven't really had much going on. Probably after the first of the year, we'll get some guides and stuff up. We're just kind of busy right now. And I'm hoping we'll have a new dwarf Fizzlebane story pretty soon, too. We haven't heard about his adventures lately, so we have no idea. Last we heard, he was in the harbor.
Yes, I have a feeling that he doesn't want to give us an account of every single kobold he kills.
There are a lot of kobolds.
There are a lot of kobolds in the harbor, that is for sure. All right, so let's go to news beyond DDO. And it looks like you can get the ultimate D&D collection. Does this mean that every single book ever written for the first edition?
Well, no, it does not. Name is very misleading. Actually, what it is GOG, which is Good Old Gamers, is having a winter sale right now, and I noticed their Ultimate D&D collection is on sale for $21.10. You might be asking yourself, what will $21.10 buy me?
Good question.
It will get you Baldur's Gate, the original saga, Baldur's Gate 2 complete, Planescape Torment, Neverwinter Nights, the Diamond Collection, Neverwinter Nights 2 complete, Icewind Dale complete, Icewind Dale 2 complete, the Temple of Elemental Evil, Dungeons and Dragons Dragon Shard, and the Forgotten Realms Demon Stone. So that is a ton of hours of playtime for $21.10. That pretty much, I can't think of any other D&D based video games that are missing off of that list, at least for the PC. I mean, I know there was a bunch on the Commodore 64 that aren't there, but...
Well, yes, but since...
PC, PC wise, that's pretty much the entire collection of D&D games.
So that's the reason why it's the ultimate one, the ultimate PC game. All right, then. And speaking of Dungeons & Dragons stuff on sale, now, while we're not going to be able to get the first edition in this ultimate, you can, starting tomorrow from when we're recording this, which means that if you're listening to us later, it's already available. Purchase the Dungeon Master Guides for the 5th edition. So we'll finally have the full course set available. And I have mine on order. I presume Drac has his on order?
I do. I have had mine pre-ordered for quite a while now. So I'm excited to get my hands on it. Though I have to give full disclosure, I actually have read through it once.
Ooh, how'd you manage that?
On Black Friday, when I had all my friends over and we were doing that gaming and I was running Ravenloft, one of my friends had stopped by his friendly local gaming store, and they participate in the early release program, so they actually had it, so he bought it.
Ooh.
So I have...
But how did he allow you to... So he allowed you to look in it so that you could run that game you were running on Black Friday?
Actually, yeah, we did use it several times for some things, so I'm kind of glad that he did have it. It was very helpful. But yeah, before we started gaming, we were kind of eating pizza and stuff, and I was digging through that, and it's a pretty sweet little
What
book.
nasty stuff can you do?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you guys this way. I'm gonna kill you guys this way. So there you have it. So yeah, it's a pretty good book. I can't wait to actually get my copy as well.
All right, then let's go into our weeks in DDO. What did you do?
Before we do that, we have some somewhat breaking news, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Thanks to Mock Taskmaster in the chat room. He alerted this to us. Over on DNDWizards.com, Mike Merles posted the end of the beginning. This talks about him announcing the conclusion to Legends and Lore. So if you're familiar with the D&D blog over at dndwizards.com, there was a Legends and Lore section of that blog, and it looks like that is coming to an end now. He says D&D is a living thing. It lives and breathes. As long as you play the game, create campaigns, and create characters and talk about it, its health can be measured by the lives it has touched and the creativity it has fostered. As members of the D&D team charged with tending to the game, our job is to make sure it remains vibrant and healthy. In many ways, the work we just completed was the easy part. We've created D&D editions in the past, but we've never tried to manage them in a way we intended to. He goes on to talk about some of the new articles and new features that will be cited on the site. One of the biggest things I noticed, like I said, I haven't read this too thoroughly because I actually just got this link, but something that jumped out at me right away when I was scanning it was they are going to be publishing a regular series of what they're calling campaign notebooks. These articles will provide insights into D&D and tips for your games taken directly from the campaigns of Dungeon Masters there at Wizards of the Coast. So you can expect to see a steady dose of Chris Perkins there once his campaign gets off the ground. And if anybody's familiar with Chris Perkins, he is like the ultimate Dungeon Master. I strive to DM like Chris Perkins. I've watched him. I've watched some live streams and watched some YouTube videos of him. And Chris Perkins, sir, I bow to you in your Dungeon Master ways. So I can't wait to read your article.
So he is the true master of the dungeon.
He is the true master of the dungeon. So yes, that pretty much is it for the breaking news. I will make a little article up on this and put a post up for it and link to the article so you can read it all yourself. But thanks to Mock Taskmaster in our chat room for breaking that news. See, that's what's great about the chat room is we find stuff out as the show is recording that we can talk about. We have the greatest listeners ever.
All right, and thank you for that news. Now are we ready to go into your week in DDO?
I will now allow it.
Okay, you will no longer postpone it.
What I did this week, my Shandarkai Assassin ran a couple quests. I did Shadow of a Doubt. I did Friends in Low Places. And I also did Shadow over Wieland. And I ended up doing that on Heroic by accident. But it worked out because I didn't die. So it was all good. And I started going into Wieland Prison. There is a lot of quests and a lot of quest arcs and everything to do in there. So therefore, I opened up the dreaded Slayer deeds. I am 10 of 7,500. Yay, go me. Yes, I said of 7,500 and I have
7,500.
I have 10 kills. So let's do that math in your head to see how many more kills I have to do to finish that off. Yeah. Okay, then. So that was my Shandarkai Assassin, who is still level 15. That's what I started at, of course. My level 10 Rogue spent a lot of time in Ataraxia's Haven. I did the Psychros Jewel quest, which, if you remember, I think was about 4 weeks ago, maybe. I attempted to do that and got to the end. And there was a part where a bunch of kidnappers and assassins rush out some doors. And I got overwhelmed and I got killed the last time I did it. This time, I got smart. I used my grease traps and I used my fire grenades. and they didn't stand a chance.
Ooh.
So the moral of the story, grease traps and fire grenades, very handy.
I'm going to need to get some grease traps for my character then.
I also worked on the Slayers out there. I'm at 200 of 1,500, so not quite as bad as the Wayland Prison, but still it's going to be a lot of kills. 2 out of 10 on the rare encounters, and 10 of 16 on the Explorer Deed. I'm probably going to spend a lot of time in there because I kind of really enjoy that area. It's kind of a fun little area. It's kind of island theme. It's kind of like a little pirate island. So I kind of enjoy it. So I'll be spending a lot of time in there. I know I picked up a couple more quests to do in there. So that's probably what my rogue will be doing for the next couple weeks. And as far as my Ranger Rogue, as always, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about that since that's what we do together. So what did we do for that, and what else did you do this week? Hopefully you didn't die in permadeath anymore.
Oh, all right, let's see what I did. On my Artificer level 9, what I did, of course, we did the Grave Robber, and we did the Haunted Library. So we went into House Jarasco and did a couple of quests there. I believe that you had done one of them already with another one of my characters, so it was a repeat for you, but for me it was the first time on my character. If I remember correctly, the first time we attempted it in hard, and I don't think we did very well, if my memory serves me right.
No, we did.
Right.
I'm trying to think of how long we lasted. No, actually, we got killed at the very beginning because the trap killed us.
Oh, that's right.
Even with my high dex and my high acrobatics and my jump, the trap still killed us.
Oh, and speaking of traps killing us, that's right. Before we went to House Tarasco, we did Behind the Door in the Madhouse Mansion in the challenge.
Yeah, the challenge.
You expunged that from your mind.
Well, I'm not the one that had to expunge it because I didn't die, but you died a horrible, horrible, painful death. I felt bad watching you die as I was standing there just watching it happen.
Yes, we were at a point where we had about 20 seconds on the clock or something like this, and we were at a place, we needed to open this door. I think if we opened that door, we would have had an extension.
Yep.
And I was desperately trying to we had this traps with blades spinning wildly, and I went to the wrong side of the door to put in my icon, and when I finally realized I had to go to the other side there, I went all the way around, and I think we had about 10 seconds left, and I didn't think I had time to look for the control panel, so I thought, well, this place isn't going to have a control panel, right? So I tried to sneak in that last item, and the blades came running down and sliced through me, and we had, diced Artificer as a result.
But the funniest part about it, but of course Pineleaf didn't find it funny, I found it hilarious. As he's trying to sneak in there and put the crest in the wall to open the door, I'm searching for the control panel. The exact second he dies, I find the control panel to disable the trap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hey, look, I can just say, oh, well, never mind, you're dead.
Right. So we did that. Then we went to do the Grave Robber. Then we did Mira's Sleepless Nights, which Drac seemed to have forgotten about. And then we did the Haunted Library. And there was a really nasty room with casters and archers firing at us, and it was really nasty in there. But at the end of that particular fight, I had dropped from a chest a 1,000 renown token.
Yeah, for your guild.
For my guild. So that was nice.
Yeah, I actually think I forgot exactly what you said, but I think you actually uttered a little woohoo on the Skype call, actually.
Yeah, well, I would think so, considering that.
Yeah, I think I've only ever seen maybe one of those 1,000 guild renowns drop. And I think, actually, I've seen them twice, and I do believe you've got them both times we've been playing.
Oh boy.
See, it's just another sign of the RNG hating me. The RNG hate lives on, people. It lives on.
Right. Now, I also ran some dungeons with my permadeath level 3 artificer, the Kobold's new ringleader, bringing the light, Garrison's missing pack, which I did. I did Garrison's missing pack on hard. Then Dirk's got a secret, which I did at hard. The reason why I'm doing a couple of these at hard, despite being on permadeath, is because I have a rule with my character that I'm only allowed to use the daily dice if I complete a medium or larger dungeon at my level or higher. And the reward for that is being allowed to roll the dice. And in fact, after doing Dirk's Got a Secret, I rolled the silver dice and I got 100.
Seriously?
And all I got was XP for it.
Well, I guess it was only a silver, but seriously.
Yeah, it was only a silver, right.
Seriously, again? Seriously?
I know, again, twice, 2 weeks, 200s, yes.
See, then again, the RNG hate lives on, people. It's real. The RNG hate is real.
And of course, I did a few solo quests, Miller's Death, Explosive Situation, and Anacrophobia. So, and I managed to get through Anacrophobia without breaking a single sarcophagus, which if you're familiar with that particular quest.
Yeah, that is hard to do because you accidentally can break some of those. So that's kudos to you for actually doing that without breaking one.
Yeah, because that was my goal on that one, was to get through there without breaking a single one of those. Especially when you consider that I'm playing an artificer, which means ranged attacks, and I've got this dog with me. So therefore, there are plenty of opportunities to break something accidentally.
Yeah, now how careful were you running that to actually not break one? I mean, were you
very careful, obviously.
I mean, you were going like super slow and you were like taking your shots carefully, or?
Yeah, I was making sure I took my shots carefully.
Okay. Still, good on you for doing that without breaking one. I've never successfully done it.
All right, then. And that covers everything. So next week I'll be getting ready to head out into the marketplace. I'm skipping the rest of it because I wanted to get to an area where I could have some I hit level 4, so I want to be able to do some level 4 quests.
Makes sense.
Right. So with that, we'll go into donations, and a big thanks to Gumps Gang and Flossing for supporting the network on Patreon.
Yay! Thank you.
Yay!
Seriously, thank you a lot. We really appreciate it.
And unfortunately, though, we weren't supported with an iTunes review yet.
Yeah, well, it's iTunes, and nobody likes iTunes.
Right. All right. So let's go into our featured comments. Saba Jade sent us via a tweet, "Enjoy the latest podcast. Pineleaf, come back to Sublime. We will keep you alive."
See, there you go. Keeping Pineleaf alive.
I'll have to actually be able to log into, because my biggest problem there was whenever I was logged into there, it's getting onto there to be playing the same time that they're playing, so that
right, yeah.
Because I think usually when someone was getting ready to run something that was about my level, it was time for me to log off. So therefore, when I have time, I will go back to Sublime and see if I can stay alive for more than 3 levels. And Fuzzy Duck 81 left a comment on the Festival coming, and it says, store page states that the Jester will be arriving on the 12th to turn in the coins, which probably means Update 24 will be arriving the day too, because A, U24 will include the usual shuffling around of certain cookies, cakes, jelly effects, and probably amend the rewards list in other ways too. So it's kind of dumb to have new ones appearing with old effects for a couple of days and then change around. So therefore, he predicted.
He did. And I was going to point this out, that this comment was left well before we knew the exact release date of Update 24. So he was right on in his comment. So good on you, Fuzzy Duck 81.
Right. And while enabling stuff like coins is a pretty simple toggle switch for whether or not they drop in chests, I'm fairly sure switching the Jester on and off, and the Ice Festival stuff too, requires the server restart due to changing certain terrain features. And it just created annoyance to have 2 sessions for downtime when you can have only 1. Well, I suspect turning this, because there's all sorts of other stuff that goes on too at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have a feeling they could just do a switch on that. Now, A is very definitely legitimate. I don't know about B, but then I don't know if they have the same type of phasing technology in DDO that they have in Lotro.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work, but I think it all makes sense since everything is kind of tied in, and everybody was pretty sure these 2 events was going to be the coming of update 24. So when people find out when the Jester was coming, it was pretty much given that update 24 would be soon before that, which, as it turns out today, we learned it was.
All right, then. We did not receive any emails, but we would just like to read them. We will enjoy receiving them, and we will read them on the show if you would prefer. And you can send us an email at podcast@ddoplayers.com, and you can also follow us at Twitter. The Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Draculetta at Draculetta_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needle. And that is all for tonight, but you could join us in our shows at 8:30 p.m. server time, DDO Players News on Mondays, Guild Wars Players News on Thursdays, and Lotro Players News on Saturdays, and that is 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, which is also server time. And you can join us live. Just go to our site and hit the live button, and then you could go to our live page, and we'll see if we get a link in the show notes for you on that. That's all for tonight, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to loot those treasure chests.